The stock market is up big time and there are some amazing stocks out there, but this also means that there is some trash that is out there. I mean, look at this. Palantir is up more than 150%. So the real question is, what are the best stocks? What are some stocks that we should absolutely consider investing in? And can we find them for under $150? And as always, why is that price point so important, especially right now in December of 2024? Let's go ahead and break it down. So I have a list of 5 stocks. So these are the top 5 stocks under 150 right now. I'm going to tell you exactly how and why I came up with this list and why 150 is important. So I want to set the scene as I always do. Because the stock market is on fire and we are at or near all-time highs, the reason why I say that is because the market is moving. Tomorrow could be an all-time high. The day after that could be another all-time high. So that's why I keep moving the bar. And as the stock market continues to creep higher, it is harder and harder to find stocks that are under $100 or even under $50. So we have to move that bar up just a little higher. And then also, keyword if, you can find a good stock with a good price point of $50 to $100 or even $150, that means that if you have enough money, you can do covered calls. There's an extra way to make even more money with a good quality stock. I did an entire video on how I made several $1,000s using covered calls. You can check that video after this because you need a good stock to start off with. So let's run down the list. The first one here is Walmart. Is the most boring. I've talked about it before. Right now it is around $93, up 43% in the last 6 months, up 81% in the last year. We're gonna get that one out the way, okay? Because we've talked about it enough times here on this channel. Let's get into the meat, the good stuff. Next one here is Fox. It is only $44, and this one I have peppered in a few videos before. I'm not gonna lay it on thick right now, but this stock has been trudging along pretty much under the radar. I don't see enough people talking about this stock, and I do think it does continue to have some runway in that media space. Fox right now up 37% in the last 6 months, up 55% over the last year. Right now, again, if I haven't mentioned it already, is around $44. Again, prices do change. By the time you're watching this video, by the time members see it, prices change every day. So that's why I'm kind of giving you an approximation here. Now, the next one here, I put like a little star here. There are 2 stocks that are going to be on this list that are going to have an extra explainer here. Okay, here's the first one. This one is Williams. WBM is the stock symbol for Williams. They are an energy company. If I'm not mistaken, based out of my hometown of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Right now, it's around $56. You guys know how I feel about energy stocks at this moment in time. Right now, it is gained 36% in the last 6 months and up 51% in the last year. Now, here's the thing with Williams. It is on the edge. What do I mean by on the edge? Energy stocks tend to do well generally around this time. It's getting cold. You see, I didn't change my wardrobe because it's cold. Okay, and we talked about a lot of energy stocks. I would say in the last like 6 months or so. Done a whole video about how billionaires are investing in energy stocks, and most of us who were on it when we were on it, we have seen how well energy stocks have done. Okay, did a whole video. You can check that out. But here's the thing: with the new administration, we assume right now that the new administration is going to be more friendly towards oil and gas. That is, in theory, helpful to companies like Williams. However, how will tariffs affect energy companies? I honestly do not know. And with international relations, with Russia, with China, I don't know how that is going to affect energy relations at all. I don't know. I think things could be very chaotic. For example, I know there was, I believe it was an embargo or whatever we had with Russia. They were the 3rd largest energy producer when it came to oil, and that messed up supply and demand for a good minute, and oil prices spiked. I don't know if y'all remember that, but that did occur. Well, what if we started trading with Russia again and we have higher supply and that messes up the demand? What if that were something to occur? Could that happen? I do not know. That could be a risk. Is it a 2% risk? Is it a 50% risk? I don't know. So I'm putting it out there that I don't know that, but that is a risk. So I'm throwing it out there. That's something, if you are going to invest in any energy company, do take that into account. What am I doing with my energy stocks right now? It is near December. I am going to take a look and evaluate all of my energy stocks. And this is just the time that I buy and sell anyway. So I'm going to go back and see, are my energy stocks slowing down? Is it time for me to sell and move somewhere else? So that's what I'm going to evaluate and see what I'm going to do. This is what I do all the time, every single year. So I'm letting y'all know that, okay? Next is, this is 3 digits on both sides of this, okay? So Palantir, we talked about it a few times before. One of y'all in the comments, well, I'll read the comments. Y'all are smart. Had talked about Palantir about 5, almost 6 months ago. I listened to y'all. Y'all right. Continue to do my research. Continue to look at the charts. Palantir has been on fire. Y'all was right. 6 months ago, from the time that person had posted that comment, so y'all should look into Palantir, I did. 6 months. Palantir's up 227%. I repeat, 227%. And this is not the first time I've mentioned Palantir. I mentioned it more than once at this point in time. It is just $70, around $71 to be exact. But again, prices move by the time you see this. Around $71. This is the one that, again, this is, if you ain't investing in it already, you might want to get up on that. Okay, so Palantir, again, near $70, up 227% in the last 6 months, up 250% in the last year. It has absolutely been on fire. I don't understand how it's only $70. I don't get it, but it is what it is. Again, if you don't know what covered calls are, this can absolutely enhance your return. So again, come back to that video. It was linked in the very beginning. I'll try and make sure that it's linked in the description if you haven't already. Also, make sure that you check out my free class on how you can get to your first 6 figures when it comes to investing, and we're considering doing a workshop and getting ready for 2025. So we're gonna make sure that you are on our email list. Okay, just started outlining what that workshop can look like in 2025. So to get on the email list, you can register for the free class on the 6 figures, and you'll be on the email list that way. Or you can just sign up at buildingbread.com/free. You should be added to the email list that way. So sign up. We're going to talk about it. I've done some surveys, kind of understand what people are looking for in 2025. So we're gonna get to work. All right. Next here is Bank of New York Mellon. That stock symbol is BK. Now this one right now is $80 a share, around $80 a share. It is up 35% in the last 6 months, up 65% over the last year. If you notice already, I'm bouncing around the map in terms of industries. I've got some finance, I've got some tech, I've got regular consumer goods, I've got media. I want to add some diversification. I could have done all tech. I think it's far too easy, right? But then also, we're trying to stay under $150 as well, because again, I want some runway. I want to invest in something that I can hold for the long term, and something that's over $150 you can also hold for the long term too, right? It's not a hard and fast rule, but I want to try and add an extra income that I can get from covered calls. It's just much easier to do, way easier to do if it is under 150 for most of us, but some of y'all got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So really depends on what your budget is. If you don't have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, which I didn't when I started, you can also do fractional shares. We have videos and resources on how you can invest with fractional shares and what apps work with fractional shares as well. Got a new app that I am researching, and we'll talk about that here pretty soon as well. Then I've got what might be my favorite stock outside of Palantir, and I'll tell you exactly why, and that is Howmet Aerospace. Now, Howmet Aerospace is a very interesting company for a reason that I'm going to save for our members only. Okay, that we're going to save that reason as to why. But it is up 34% in the last 6 months and up 115% in the last year. Now, I am interested to see how this is going to play into the new administration as well, just because this new administration tends to be more strident, more stubborn when it comes to spending on the military, and perhaps has more talk than evidence. We'll see. So we'll see where that goes. But there is something very interesting behind the scenes that is happening there that is different than all the others. So I've kind of looked behind the scenes. All the charts are moving in the right direction with all of these, but Insider Members only right now, which these people are on the screen currently, I have signaled out inside our community tab why this one is standing out more than the others, and why I think we could be very early for a company like this, even though it is already up more than 100% in the last year. So now that you have what I think are the best stocks currently under $150, these are the videos that you want to watch next.